Hello, I am Ahmed Elzawawy. I present today on behalf of all the faculty and leaders of the Global Oncology University and the Win-Win a talk about a Global Oncology University collaborative educational model. I share the board of directors of Global Oncology University, so I'm glad to be among you, even it is remotely transatlantic. I have no conflict of interest. What I present is not only on my behalf, Ahmed Elzawawy, but it represents the leaders, the faculty, as I said, of the Win-Win movement and global oncology and global health catalyst, and the GOYU. We are an orchestra. Once again, the Win-Win will continue and succeed only with the contribution of many. The Win-Win belongs to all. Welcome all. One of the important concepts of the Win-Win movement that I stress that here that the term chair or president or director doesn't mean he or she is the most knowledgeable or most skillful or important, or he or she claims the credits. No, not at all. But he or she coordinate and serve in arranging and facilitating the distinguished expert and personalities and all colleagues and the senior and the junior would focus on achieving our common goal of the movement. The credit is for the doers of any positive action that serve the common objectives. As details in different presentation and publication of the leader of global health catalyst Win-Win, and in our new book approaching global oncology, the Win-Win model. The Win-Win movement aims at the increase of affordability of better value cancer care for millions of the underserved cancer patients in the world via scientific approaches, scientific approaches and within win-win scenario in the real world. The GOYU is among the important channels of the Win-Win movement that include, and as present in our book and presentation of the Global Health Catalyst Win-Win movement. Catalyst, the first channel is the Catalyst Actions and Volunteer Consultation. This is the core of Catalyst Advisor and Win-Win Consultants. Welcome all. Scientific researches and Win-Win publications movement, including our new book. Some example of publication and videos are present in websites. Please see the link here. Third, the Global Oncology University for better cancer control worldwide, and e-cancer for all for online education plus on-site training. Fourth, Africa, Oxford, Harvard, Johns Hopkins Cancer Research and Clinical Trial Consortium, AFROX H2, led by Professor David Kerr, Oxford, UK. The Win-Win Ambassadors, Honor Ambassador, Her Royal Highness Princess Dina Mired, immediate past president of the UICC and honorary ambassador of the Win-Win movement, is presented in our new book also. Immediate past president, I mean here. Professional ambassador, an example is one of the distinguished professional Professor Luca Incrucci, radiation oncologist, Erasmus Cancer Institute, Rotterdam, Netherlands, and he is one of the board of the faculty of the GOYU. Sixth is Young Catalyst Win-Win collaboration. There is a chapter in our new book about the Young Catalyst, the Global Health Catalyst Summit. They are not just meetings, but summits to elaborate collaborations, partnerships, and catalyst action to empower the realization of the objective of global health catalyst for the sake of humans with cancer with special stress on Africa. 5 annual summits were held in Harvard Medical School since 2015. Then the 6th was held in Johns Hopkins and the University of Pennsylvania. Today in Johns Hopkins is the 7th summit. Now we go to welcome to Global Oncology University. Professor Wilfred Nagwa, my brother and friend, he is Executive Director of Global Health Catalyst, Win-Win Movement, and the GoU. He is working enormously with all leaders and faculty for the development of the GoU. I show his photo here because he doesn't like to show himself always. So I present his photo. The GoU is an award-winning excellence of excellence in education of medical physics in the US. So it is already award-winning. About Global Oncology University, we for better cancer control. I would like to stress in some points. It was founded with collaboration with and funding from University of Harvard, University of Pennsylvania, Johns Hopkins nowadays, and University of Massachusetts, Oxford University, Heidelberg, Germany, and Global Health Consortium involving professional societies, including many organizations, as stated by Wilfred Nagwa. There are growing partnerships involving industry and ministries of health in different countries. Yes, there are growing, and there are the needs. What is the need for Global Oncology University? There is deadly need to increase enormously the human capacity and to increase access to better value cancer care in the world. The gap is wide. So there is a great need to hugely increase opportunities for education and training, certificate, and degrees in the near future. Otherwise, the talk about affordability, disparities, equality in cancer care in the world will be just repeated slogans. Today, we are not starting from zero, but since 2017, we hold online courses in clinical oncology, course in clinical trial led by Professor David Kerr and Professor Rachel Kerr, Oxford University, medical physics, surgical oncology led by Professor Ricardo Audicio with the faculty of the European Society of Surgical Oncology, and global oncology. But this year we are developing and going forward to make solid implementation, sustainable and able to be modified and changing according to the innovation and the circumstances in the future. I have the high pleasure to acknowledge the great efforts of Professor Stephen Avery, University of Pennsylvania, aiming at the realization of the dream of organizing and accredited master's and PhD degrees in medical physics. There are a need for thousands of qualified and competent medical physicists. If we are seriously speaking about the need to cover the lack of at least 10,000 radiotherapy units is lacking in the world in the upcoming 10 years. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. This is according to Nelson Mandela. With collaboration of Global Oncology University, we can go forward and to be distinguished big endeavor that serve all, and it would have its particular brand and beloved special flavor. I use this term sometimes. It is not replacing any, but a global endeavor, welcoming all individuals and organizations would benefit of it. Besides our own programs, we will present courses and certificates with partnership and contribution of many. All willing organizations would find more links to diffuse and to announce their own programs and achievement. It is a win-win. It is global with the world broad scope of the term global. I would summarize the brand and flavor, as I like to say, that if you allow me, that we are realizing gradually together. Welcome and welcome to all collaboration, cooperation, and partnership. We are focused on all aspects that could make a big, effective stimulus to create enormous global increase of better value cancer care via science and contributing in human capacities building by education, training, consultation, advice, and catalyst efforts considering several win-win scenarios. Besides our courses, training in collaboration and partnership with many in our webs, we are planning to create increasing spaces to announce on how to access links to many professional cancer education courses and opportunities for researchers and grants from accessible links, organizations, universities, and different resources. No rivals. We are not replacing any, but the win-win movement and the GoU are open for all to add their contributions, ideas, and suggestions, and to announce for their activities. The needs on the challenge are huge. There is a need for all. We don't aim at in getting personal glory, okay? But the credit would belong to all the doers. D, it is more and not less. Contrary to some beliefs that it should be for low medical income countries should be less information, less complicated education. No, as I emphasized in many occasions, it is not just essential cancer information and cancer education that are needed in many parts of the world. The residents in big centers in USA or West Europe will just follow the protocols of their departments that are in turn follows the guidelines of big organizations and societies. But the professionals, the young and the old, in many parts of the world face big challenges. The curricula of the GoU should contain all the requirement of programs in the advanced country, plus broad scope, options of how to manage, how to communicate together, and with global colleagues to search for better value solution in their community. Hence, they would contribute more in international publications and progress of science. In addition, it is rare that qualified cancer professional in the West find himself confronting with establishing new departments without infrastructure and without enough team. But this is the case in many low middle income countries. So the global university, Global Oncology University should consider this aspect in its education, training, and capacity building, and to conduct relevant studies, researches, and publication. In brief, I suggest that the educational objective and requirement of the GoU will not be less, but more than the Western curriculum, with broader scope, multiple options, and skills. Surely also, it should not be like the usual curricula or copy and paste of that in low middle income countries. So the cooperation, there is a need for cooperation, and your input and the input of many are needed for perpetual success. It is not that the real world that in the real world there are many pharmaceutical company-oriented presentation, webinars, and conferences. We can accept contribution of sponsored lectures or webinar by industry, organization, or society, but it should be announced that it is under the flag of the GoU, and provided that every now and then we would have big virtual session open for critical appraisal or opinion, or how to adapt the local condition, or to present reserve reserve or scientific objection or agreements and admiration, no problem. Hence, transparency, flexibility, and flow of these free thoughts are considered for all parties, but with full respect of transparency, ethical politeness, and respect to all when commenting either in favor or against or criticizing, usually unlike the present social media. Some advantages of the e-learning. It is known that plenty of benefit of virtual learning, growing rapidly, and it's growing rapidly and massively, and there are great needs for enthusiasm for it. I would like to emphasize here that there are a disadvantage. Our proposal of feasible solution will assure success, sustainability, and progress for more with more innovation. Among the top disadvantages of e-learning are lack of feedback, lack of e-learning can cause social isolation. E-learning requires strong self-motivation and time management skills. A lack of communication skill, cheating prevention during online research assessment is complicated. Online instructors tend to focus on theory rather than practice. 7, e-learning lacks face-to-face communication. 8, learning is limited to certain disciplines. 9, online learning is inaccessible to the computer illiterate population. But this ninth disadvantage is not relevant to the GoU because it is for health professionals, cancer professionals, and not till this stage for public education. Till this stage, it is professional till now. 10, so it is this point of disadvantage is not relevant to us. 10, lack of accreditation and quality assurance in online education. Our proposal for discussion, crystallization, and eventually adoption by the GoU and this discussion of all of you. Not when I say here when I say in fact, I inspired from reading and discussion of meetings of the leader of GoU. Once again, in the win-win movement and the GoU, we are an orchestra. We propose that in addition to the classical virtual lecture or webinars and instructors speaking to distant audience, we add session of every 1 or 3 sessions flexible for feedback, general relevant discussions, interaction, and exposing practical points and possibilities of implementation and development in the real world. It is not just question and answer at the end of a session, but it would be with more time for open expressions of audience coming from audience. In some courses, the audience would be 20 or 30, then the same group would meet virtually for discussion. If there is more number, then it would be divided into groups. The contribution each group of this brainstorming and discussion will be interchanges with members of other groups every 2-3 sessions. So there would be opportunities for more exposure, interaction, exchanging of observation, sought for serving local problem and experiences, and for going more deeper in scientific points. Besides this session for relevant scientific and professional practice, we would encourage to hold one session in the beginning and one and the other at the end for virtual, maybe one in the end or at the end for social and general discussions. This could assist in raising the self-motivation and enthusiasm of participation. So virtual, social discussion and general discussion. To conduct the above stated, it needs numerous instructors who themselves will be discussed first to explain our common endeavor and eventually their contribution. For this point, I expect that we will get many willing colleagues, volunteer instructor, if we have concrete progressive plans and developing global perspectives that welcome contribution, ideas, and innovation in the real world. The final goal of the GoU must be clearly stated. It is a main it is a main channel to increase affordability of better value cancer care by scientific approaches and win-win scenario. So it is clear. This is our clear main goal. Some of the virtual session of the GoU will be addressed to important practical issues. There are many videos for surgical operation, planning of radiotherapy, clinical pharmacy, imaging, clinical examination and diagnosis, etc. We'll not reinvent the wheel or do many efforts while there are already many available links to videos, to practical things, issues, that we refer simply to this reference. But we can add some more gradually by time. In addition to focus on virtual learning, there will be some opportunities to some on-site training organized in partnership with the local and maybe with some organizations, societies, and universities. There are current works on how to reduce, prevent cheating in assessment. For example, there are, here is a link for the example, something called examility. In fact, I have no experience in it, but I visited the site and it is interesting. On one other point is the issue of accreditation of some program and certificate and value are tackled. There are many current work in this issue need to be considered after studying what could be feasible. Wilfred Negwa and Stephen Avery are doing great efforts in that issue of accreditation, and this may be they are consulting those who are experts and concerned with the issue. So global mean global. Regarding Global Oncology University, some of the hope I would like to emphasize. Access to candidates from everywhere, provide that they fulfill the requirement and courses of publication. Welcome to instructors from all institutes and countries. In the upcoming stage, the GoU will be with different languages, Spanish and potential program and cooperation of cooperation with Latin America, thanks to the main leader in the win-win movement and the GoU, Professor Ahmed, President of Latin America and Caribbean Society of Medical Oncology. And we are wishing also to conduct courses to Francophone, Chinese, Russian programs with facilities for translation to and from English. Our new book that will appear this month, this here is the link, and it will be the base of our course of global oncology, and one of the bases to the curriculum of cancer diplomacy suggested and will be led by Professor David Kerr. It is a living, what I call a living book. So it belongs to all. Welcome to all feedback, comments. You can read the book and send feedback, and will be appear in the web and to this link. The win-win belongs to all. This is the final. All what we presented will be of no big outcome or value without being together. All of you are needed. Then going heart in heart, brain with brain, and hand in hands, warmest regards. And thank you all. Ahmed Elzawawy. Bye-bye to all, going forward hand in hand.